I'll just respond to a very interesting comment about my Tascam Model 24 drama, in which I've had three with defects. Mike from I Love Recordings has defects currently, and that's a 44% failure rate over the amount I've owned versus the defects I've had. And these are all electronic defects, right? Like physical, electrical, digital, logical problems in the board. So I won't name the user, but it's just interesting the thinking behind some YouTube people. She says, well, you bought the Zoom L20 multiple times too, right? I think your problems might be deeper than any particular mixer. If you've bought and discarded the same mixer 9 times, the last Tascam gear I owned was the TSR-8 in the 1990s, and that was a fantastic tape machine. So let's break down what he's getting at. He's basically saying that all of my electronic problems with the Tascam Model 24, and of course Mike's, who I've never been to Mike's house or used Mike's gear, that is all a sort of a universal, like a cosmic effect of me changing my mind of using it. So when I bought the Zoom L20 multiple times, I actually retroactively, cosmically, psychically went into these other boards and wrecked them, Mike's included, and also these other guys that are now chiming in saying, yeah, my Model 16 doesn't work, and blah, blah, blah. So it is an interesting theory. And then he finally says that something he bought in the 1990s still works. So I've got stuff that still works too. These scissors, they still work. So I would argue by this logic that all the scissors that company made are good because my scissors still work, right? I know on an old Honda Civic, I had this one tire. I think it was the passenger side back right. That tire never got a flat tire. On my old, 2006 Honda Civic back passenger, I never got a flat tire in that tire. Therefore, those tires are good. And if you get a flat tire, it's because you changed your mind about other tires, I guess, right? So it is an interesting theory. So I'm just trying to figure it out. So the one Tascam Model 24 had bad compressor lights. The compressor lights were all janky and weird, and they would light when nothing was going on, and Tascam said it was fine. So I hadn't actually bought a Zoom at that point. So in this case, I suppose his theory would be that the universe, the cosmos, the collective conscious or collective unconscious, sort of the ether of the tree of life, going up to, past the rainbow bridge and the Norse gods and Odin, and it did come to pass that the universe, it could be Egypt too, I don't know. But basically, the universe knew that I was going to buy a Zoom in the future, so it went into this board, into this circuit board that runs along here, into the SMD components, probably an op amp, as someone pointed out later, and did that. It wrecked that board. And if I did that to anyone else's boards, guys out there that you're having these troubles, I apologize. It's not your fault. It's not Tascam's fault. It's because I bought the Zoom L20 multiple times too. Right? Right? So if anyone's having any Tascam problems, it could be because I had changed my mind to another interface. All right. So the other problem I had, I bought one on Amazon brand new, and this channel strip here didn't work. Okay. And I returned it to Amazon. The whole channel strip was dead, didn't work. And again, we zoomed down into the circuit, the op amps and the resistors, the capacitors, the diodes, the choke coils. We get into all that. And obviously my or unconscious energy of buying the Zoom went into those circuits, down to the trace, into the electrons, and busted that channel on that Amazon board. Amazon didn't ask me that. When you go to return something like that, Amazon doesn't go, hey, did you buy a bunch of other Zooms? Because that can do this, If you bought a bunch of other Zooms, it could wreck that last channel, right? So then my current problem with my current board is aux 1 and 2 don't work. They don't input and they don't output. Now, if I had not bought this one, say you were the next one in line, you whistle into the store, need to buy myself a Tascam Model 24, right? I was sick that day. You waltz into the store and you bought it. Why, you would get this same one where the auxes don't work. right? But I just want you to know that it's not your fault, and it's not actually an electrical problem in the circuit. It's because I bought too many Zoom L20s, right? I think that my problems might be deeper than any particular mixer. If you've bought and discarded the same mixer 9 times, I don't think I've had any of them 9 times. I've had this one 8 times, but as I just mentioned, some of them didn't work. The last Tascam this guy owned was from the 90s, and that was a fantastic tape machine. Well, yeah, like I said, I've owned these headphones for probably 15 years. They're Yamaha. They work today. So therefore, if you guys out there are having problems with these Yamaha headphones, then maybe it's because you made other decisions about other products, maybe, right? So, hey, I appreciate your comment. I don't understand it. I'm not really one of them new age guys that can tap in, like, what is it? The principles of the secret, the law of attraction, where you put yourself on certain frequencies. So, I mean, this is cosmic, what do you call that? Mumbo jumbo horse crap? No, I'm sorry. It's not mumbo jumbo horse crap. It's a new age conspiracy. Because he's basically saying it's not the, and then Mike's house. Look, we didn't even talk about Mike's house. Okay, so over at Mike's, and I've never been to Mike's house, Mike's auxes aren't working. He has to de-aux them, which the machines are too young to be de-auxed, and then he's having noises and rumbles and various other problems suddenly. He's got to devote some time this weekend to checking his out. Mike, I apologize. It's not that the Tascam is going wonky. Your Tascam is going that way because I decided to buy too many Zoom L20s. Right? Like, it's just kind of absurd a little bit, this message. And also, Mike, you should know that this guy has a Tascam thing from the 90s and it still works. As do you, Mike. As do you. So Mike has Tascams that don't work, which just further proves this is something to do with me. So anyway, thanks for your comment. Definitely entertaining. So where we're at now is I took this sucker up to Long and McQuaid. When I bought it used in December 10th of 2024, they stood there and told me it was a 1-year warranty. I didn't care too much at the time because when you're standing there buying something, you're obviously going, I ain't going to need the warranty. This thing's going to last forever. No one wants to hear warranty when they're buying something new. They're excited standing there at the transaction, standing at the transaction, excited to take a thing home. But they went out of their way to tell me it was a 1-year warranty. And I said, hot damn, that's a good deal. Giving me a 1-year warranty on this used piece of gear. That's fantastic. Well, fast forward to this week. I'm trying to do a pedal demo as we do here on Quest for Gear. And I can't get the auxes to work. And that's when I realized, hey, this used mixer board that was in Long McQuaid. And the story's a little longer than that. But anyway, the auxes don't work on this damn thing. So I hightail it up 300-kilometer round trip to Long and McQuaid. And I bring it in and they're like, you're out of warranty. And I was like, you're out of your mind. There's no way. I just bought this December 10th, 2024. There's no way I'm out of my warranty. So they did. How generous of them. They let me pay $88 as a grace to get back into their system and have it repaired. Now, you might be saying that was nice of them. No, they could have just said, look, we're really going to go for the big screw job here, the slimy used car salesman screw job here. No warranty, no grace period. They could have did that, maybe did me a favor, because I would have gone, okay, well, I hate you, I'll never shop here again, but I am going to take the mixer back to my local guy who can get this to either TIAC or Sound Distributors, or I forget that other, there's another, one of these warehouse paper shuffling places where this music gear goes to either be, assessed or repaired or sent back to Japan or whatever the hell, right? But so anyway, I did pay the $88 to extend the warranty, which is the grace period. I'm sure they thought that was really nice of them, but no, this is a screw job. Anyway, so now my board sits 150 kilometers away. The guy said 2 weeks. It's not going to be 2 weeks. It's going to be 6 to 8. Come on. We all know it's not going to be 2 weeks, but you want to bet Quest for Gear will be tracking. We'll be tracking on here every day. We'll be talking about Long and McQuaid and this crappy Tascam Model 24 board that I have being repaired. But let's just get back to the root cause. It's because I bought too many Zoom L20s. That's what broke my Tascam and Mike's Tascam and your Tascam too. Sorry about that, everybody. Sorry about that.